Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Marc from CricketBatInfo, and today we're doing a Kookaburra Kahuna Pro Players sent to us from Jesse in WA. Let's take a look. So many thanks to Jesse. He's been in contact with me through the Facebook page and said, look, do you mind if I send you over my bat? And because we don't do many Kookaburras, which is not actually something by design, it's just purely I don't see them that often. I said, yeah, great. So this is a Kahuna Pro Players, and these retail, well, the RRP is 1,050. I don't know the history of this bat, but it's obviously fairly recent. It's been knocked in probably by the retailer, and the retailer is on the back, which is Kingsgrove. I'm guessing this has been purchased post-season during a sale, so I don't know really what sort of price it went for. So the Pro Players is the top of the line Kahuna, and it's grade 1. You can see here the grains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grains. Tiny little bit of speck there. There's some sort of line here, which I don't know what that is. I think that's post that's sort of occurred. And it's been scuffed and edge taped already. As far as the shape, it's the classic Kahuna shape. You can see here a edge that peaks in about a mid to mid-low area here, and that spine that runs all the way from the handle into a center mid position and down through the toe. So very traditional sort of looking bat. The edges aren't huge on this. They're 35mm, which I'll show you when I measure it properly. In fact, the actual specs of it aren't that huge at all. He already added some other grips to change it to how he liked it, but he's given me the original grip, which I put back on it. I don't know why there's discoloration on it, but you can imagine they would appear normally white like that, not brown like that. That looks to me to be some sun discoloration or something like that, maybe sitting in the shop or something like that. Under the handle here, you can see it says Kahuna Pro Players. There's some sort of marking, or somebody's attempted to write on it but forgotten how to write, and it says there Australian Kahuna. I think that's to indicate that there's slightly different variations on the Kahuna shape depending on what market you're in. 3 cork, and it's got some twine on there. The binding, the handle shape is a nice oval feel. Maybe slightly semi-oval, but it does feel like a really nice handle, round at the top. It's the sort of handle that I like to feel. I'm not sure I like this sort of grip, and I can understand why Jesse took it off, because they do rob it of a lot of feeling, so I'd probably go myself for something more along the line of a chevron. As far as the stickers go, classic sort of Kahuna look, that green, and you can see here some texturing. I'll put that up to the camera, a bit of light on it. Pro Players, bit of texturing there, and that's embossed. Not much there, really trying to highlight the wood. You've got a little bit of heartwood running down that right-hander's outside edge. As I turn that over, it just says handcrafted English willow, 1890, and Kookaburra on the back. This is all embossed. Nice looking stickers. Obviously the Kookaburra on the back and Kahuna there. Now, I don't think these bats are actually made in Australia, and you're welcome to comment in the video below. In the past, most of them have been made in India by SG, but I know that Lockie Dinger at Kookaburra has been pushing to actually start to make the top player bats here. He definitely makes a few for the sponsored players, but I think it would take a bit of time to sort of build that up. As far as the shape goes, it's not a huge bat compared to some of the bats we've been lucky enough to see. And I don't really think that's the point of this. This is basically about an iconic sort of shape, and it's trying to stick to the original shape that the Kahuna has always been. So it's not trying to do big edges when it never really had them. You can see here as I put the gauge over it. It's not reaching that top position, it's well under, and the edges are not reaching there either. The face camber itself is not the 5mm, it's more on a flatter profile. And you can see some bow there in the bat, like traditional Kookaburra sort of bats have, just to enhance that pickup. The bat has been prepared, as I've said before. Let's do some measurements quickly. Okay, zero that off. Start at the edge here, 18mm. Toe, 25. Edge, 35. Shoulder, 14.5. And center here, 36. The actual spine itself, I wouldn't imagine is much above 62. Down for a second. So it says 60.5. It will open up slightly more, so it's about 61mm. So it's not huge. I mean, you would see lower grade bats with pretty much the same specifications. The concave on it is about 3mm. And when I say you would see lower spec bats, I mean that lower spec dried bats. This bat has been prepared, it's already been oiled. So the colour of it is, it's not hiding anything through bleaching or anything like that. That's the natural colour of that willow. So yeah, I actually like it as far as the shape. The feel of the bat, look, it feels very light in the hands, obviously, with that sort of shape and concaving and balancing. It feels like a 2.7, 2.7.5 maybe. And the actual weight of it is 285. So pretty much the sort of weight that I would tend to use. Yeah, let's check the width. Make sure that's zeroed. The tapes on, which means that it's slightly under the normal. So it's 106.7. Normal is about 108. So it's 0.5 mil, slightly narrow on each side, which you're not going to notice when you're playing with it. That's nothing. I wouldn't be fussed about that. So it's a very nice shape. If you really like the Kookaburra Kahuna shape and you've always used Kookaburras, then going from one model to the next, it wouldn't you wouldn't be fussed at all. I think you'd be disappointed if they completely changed the shape and it didn't pick up anything like the last one that you had. And I'm pretty sure if you see the pictures of the ones that Ricky Ponting used to use, they were well below that 35mm. So we'll bring in the gray-nicolls, the bat that we compare against on this channel. If the first time you're seeing the channel, basically what I do is I do a review, my first instincts on the bat in front of me. This is not a review of the brand as such. It's just a review of a particular bat of that model. There can be natural variations in those bats. So that is the gray-nicolls Ultimate that I've used, and it's well played in. Generally what I try to show you here is the rebound. Not so much worried about the sound, because the sound is very much affected by post-processing and things like that. I am slowly going to pay for better recording equipment, but at the moment we do what we can. So we start at the toe. So what I want you to look at is the actual rebound, the types of areas that bats perform in, and whether or not this particular Kookaburra, what you would call almost player willow. It's got quite good rebound there in that centre. That middle is about that long, through that mid to mid-high, maybe a little bit mid-low. It hasn't been used, but even off-centre, it feels quite good. I'm not sure the preparation that's been done. I don't know if this has been a hand knock or a machine knock. If it's Kingsgrove, generally they put an extra press on it. So I'd still say to the owner, if it's from Kingsgrove, I would still probably give a little bit of work to those, to that toe area and those edges, even though there has been some attempt to knock them in. It's a very nice bat. I'm not sure about pricing, like $1,000 retail. I think it's very competitive in that area of the market, and you've got a lot drier bats with bigger profiles that are competing against you. You know, when you buy these top end bats, are you paying for the sponsorship? Because, you know, Kookaburra is a heavy sponsor of players across the country, which is great for cricket. But, you know, that money has to come from somewhere, and they're not selling bonds to do it. They sell bats and balls. So there you have it. That is the Kookaburra Kahuna. Many thanks to Jesse from WA. I really appreciate patrons like Jesse who send bats through. It's what makes this page different. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to give you a review. If you like the review, click like on the video, share it with your friends, and you know, comment in the video and just try and help me out by watching it till the end. That's all there is.